What's up, Multiverse? Dr. Dave here, and welcome to the Geek Lounge. On today's video, we're actually going to be doing something a little bit different because I've run into some serious space issues with all the Funko Pops I've been collecting recently. Let me show you what I mean. We've got boxes of Pops, Hot Toys, and other things just piled up here in the corner. A lot of out-of-box stuff here in this glass cabinet that we're actually not going to be touching, but as you can see, the further we get down, the messier it becomes. And then yeah, I've kind of got a whole bunch of things stacked in front of it, so we can't even really see the bottom two shelves. And there is that box of sodas, that soda video coming very, very soon. And as you can see, I've also just kind of dumped the Turtles figures in there as well. And I'm kind of filling every sort of nook and cranny that I can, as you can see, including stuffing things into cupboards. And now that I think about it, these two cupboards are actually anime themed. Attack on Titan in the others, My Hero Academia, Naruto, and I think even some Sword Art Online in this cupboard. And then I did start making this display here, as you guys can see, full of some South Park figures, but then they started making more and more of those. As we get down, we have some Gears of War, but as you can see, things start to really get a little bit cramped. Turtles all kind of cramped in there together, and then really a mishmash of figures that I bought out of box and some in box that I then kind of took out and didn't really display. And then I crammed a whole bunch of things here in the bottom of the wardrobe. 10 inches, 6 inches, deluxe, rides, moments, you name it. There's a Pop T down there as well. And this box sitting right here in front, this is actually what we opened up in the last video. I popped a bunch of like deluxes and bigger figures at the top here. What If, Sword in the Stone, and a few Naruto figures as well. Hey, that's actually quite interesting. Jiraiya on Toad, number 73 of the Pop Rides line. Kurama, number 73 of the Pop Animation line. I thought that was pretty interesting. Both number 73, both from Naruto, but kind of two different lines, if that makes sense. And worst of all, guys, is this side of the wardrobe. That's actually like quite hard to open up as well. It's probably so heavy with the amount of things that are in it. I mean, you would have seen this before if you have been watching, because I've done a few videos where I've used this as my background. But yeah, there's just a ton of Pops, like a wall of Pops here in the wardrobe that just goes further down, 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 as you guys can see. And yeah, we're kind of really full here now as well. I don't even think I can really get back far enough to kind of get that all into a shot there for you guys, but yeah, it's getting a bit crazy, as you guys can see. And it's not just Funko Pops, because we started collecting Hot Toys, statues, amongst some other things, especially Lego. You know, the Professor has a huge Lego collection, and we kind of have been joking for a while that he probably has more boxed, unbuilt sets than he actually does have built sets, but I really start to think that joke is turning into a reality. But one thing we do have is a pretty big loft above us, so we have actually got quite a lot of storage space. It's filling up pretty quickly though. That's where a lot of those Lego sets are. I've got a lot of my empty Funko Pop boxes up there, the empty kind of Lego sets, the UCS sets, the empty boxes of the ones that are built are also up there. It's kind of boxes within boxes, pretty messy, but we've still got quite a bit of space. And so what I am actually going to be doing today is transferring a lot of these comics and graphic novels into boxes to put into the loft, so we can then display more Funko Pops on these shelves here in the Geek Lounge. And I thought I'd give you guys a look at the shelves as they are currently, because you don't fully see everything here in the shop. A lot of DC comic stuff down there at the bottom. That's like an Eagle Moss collection that I'll get to in a second. Majority of the first wave of Umbrella Academy figures, I was about to say My Hero Academia, Umbrella Academy figures there. That's kind of, I think that's pretty much like Dark Horse Comics, hence the reason I've got Umbrella Academy there. We've got the two kind of John Wick figures in amongst a lot of Image and some Valiant stuff there, with the die-cast figures as well. That's kind of like a Schindler's List limited edition DVD in the back there as well. I think this whole shelf is kind of Image. You can see the Saga figures there. That's like the full set of Walking Dead trades, a lot of Saga there as well. We kind of come up, I've got some Pirates of the Caribbean figures, Jack Torrance, the kind of Matrix there, in amongst again a mishmash, some Image stuff there, Lazarus. That's again part of that kind of Eagle Moss DC stuff that we'll get into. Up here then I had, well, it pretty much was Blu-rays. In fact, it was actually Blu-rays all across these kind of top two shelves, and as you can see, this is pretty messy. All of these Blu-rays are actually, well, mixture of Blu-rays and DVDs. These are actually going to go up into a box in the loft as well, and we're going to kind of make another, I won't be doing that today, but we're going to kind of make another display similar to this sort of Steven Spielberg display that I've got going on here. I still haven't found a place for that Mr. DNA figure that I picked up recently. We then kind of come down, I'm pretty sure, I I don't know if it's everything, but the majority of this shelf is kind of like a bit of a Garth Ennis shrine. He's one of my favourite writers. You guys can see the Preacher figures there, the Preacher graphic novels in the background with the boys, Battlefields, a lot of Garth Ennis stuff. I'm a big fan of his work. Pan's Labyrinth figures just randomly there. There is kind of like an AMC Walking Dead stand that was like part of these Eagle Moss things that I was actually a bit disappointed with. We've then got, yeah, what was this stuff? This is Vertigo, a lot of Vertigo stuff. We've got the Dark Knight thing there just hanging around. That kind of 8-pack Rogue One there is covering a lot of the things as well. A lot of the, I say things, a lot of the Vertigo books kind of come down. I had King Leonidas kind of in front of the 300 there, and then kind of Captain America just took up that space. I always kind of thought that was quite cool. Again, another kind of moment from Batman. Then I think most of that is kind of DC in there. Some Swamp Thing, Flash, Aquaman, quite a mixture of Batman, Hitman, some other things in there as well. And then it is kind of pretty much a DC shelf, although some stuff is covered. Well, I say DC, this is like kind of predominantly a Batman shelf, hence the reason for all these kind of Batman and a few Joker figures as well. And then, yeah, kind of down here really, again, this is a bit of a mess. That is that Qui-Gon Jinn Hot Toys figure that I really kind of need to get around to looking at. As you guys can see there, this box is now overflowing full of Star Wars Funko Pops. That's just fallen down, poor frog lady there. Excuse the dust as well, guys. I haven't really dusted for a while. It kind of, you know, that's what I'm going to be doing today as well. More of these Eagle Moss DC things. So this actually goes all the way around. If I kind of move this, it kind of starts there. Again, a couple of little figures there, Superman and Wonder Woman, although I think that's like a Teen Titans dress up or something. But it's a pretty cool design that these Eagle Moss DC graphic novels were, that kind of go all the way around. As you can see there, I've got an All-Star Superman there as well, but this thing goes all the way around. That's how many books they've done. I kind of feel it's a bit too much. I hope it is finishing soon. It was supposed to be like the best of the best, and then I kind of felt like some of the stories were like, are these really the best that DC has, or are they just kind of, you know, milking this you know, to sell all these books? That shelf there in the middle, it's kind of a smaller one, but it does contain a lot of the kind of bigger omnibuses and I was trying to think of the other word, like complete editions, deluxe editions, things like that. A bunch of pops as well, a lot of gaming pops, well, a couple of games in there. As you guys can see, some pretty old Xbox 360 games as well. Those were part of that Eagle Moss collection as well. They were kind of like the deluxe subscription based things. More kind of pops going up, as well as a whole kind of mishmash, like I said, of different books and things like that. Coming across here, there's some other books here, more kind of like autobiographies and a few other stories. I mean, I haven't really been a big kind of novel reader, more kind of graphic novel, to be perfectly honest. And then, yeah, a smattering of kind of figures. I mean, this kind of became a bit of a unofficial Star Wars shelf over a while, but it's really just kind of been throwing things in. We've got some Walking Dead stuff in there as well, as you guys can see. And then this was kind of where I was pretty much dumping a lot of Mandalorian figures, and then it started turning into a bunch of other Star Wars figures. I didn't put the other shelf there, that's why there's kind of a bigger gap. And then, yeah, a mess of books, like filmmaking things there. Interesting note, for those who don't know me, I did study, it wasn't really filmmaking, it was like media, moving image, you know, films, TV shows, game shows, music videos, anything, documentaries, you know, anything that really contains like moving image. I studied that in college, well, 20 years ago. That makes me feel really old now. Probably kind of gave away my age. But yeah, guys, that was kind of a quick tour. I actually didn't show what's on top. Some kind of old DVD sets as well. And then again, I've really just kind of tossed some things up here that we didn't really have any kind of space for. I mean, then you kind of got the Godfather figures up there with a with Scarface as well, and a Scarface that was kind of a limited edition DVD box set, which was pretty cool back in the day. That kind of Dark Knight Rises with the cowl there as well, that's pretty cool. But yeah, guys, that's, well, actually I forgot one other thing. If we can kind of turn here as well, you guys don't ever really see this shelf. This is where I kind of started displaying stuff. Well, let me start down here at the bottom, because we've got some of the Marvel stuff here, a lot of the kind of omnibuses and deluxe editions as we then kind of come up. Again, just kind of random figures. I mean, these Daredevil figures, though, these are now going for quite a pretty penny. I do have them boxed, but I kind of just display them in front of the kind of Punisher and Daredevil stuff. I'm a huge Punisher fan. You can probably see quite a few Punisher books there as well. And then kind of coming up to more of the kind of some of the traditional stuff, Spider-Man, X-Men, Runaways, the whole kind of complete set of Civil War there as well, which I have actually read a couple of times. And then again, a few different figures. And then yeah, this was kind of then the shelf that I really did start to display things. If I can turn the light a little bit so you guys can maybe see that better. This was kind of really a TV shelf I sort of put together. Glow, Vikings, the Strain, that was it. There's that's all the Strain there. The 100, I still haven't even finished that show. Where are the last 2 seasons coming here in the UK? I think it's Hulu in the US, but we don't have that over here. Orange is the New Black, some True Blood, some Firefly there. There is just a random kind of Evil Dead Ash, the bloody version. Up there we have some Sons of Anarchy. I actually do have Gematella, but she kept falling down. I need to kind of sort that out. And then Orphan Black as well, which I was a huge fan of that show. Really happy to now see that Tatiana Maslany is now going to be kind of coming back into a big show with She-Hulk. And then this was kind of really, it kind of started out to be like a kind of that kind of CW network style thing with a Flash and Arrow, and then I kind of tossed the Runaways in, and then I was going to kind of turn it into a nostalgic kind of shelf. That's why a lot of these Power Rangers are here, but I didn't really finish the kind of stands, as you guys, well, I don't know if you can quite see those in there. I basically had, well actually I've got things here. I was kind of putting these sort of polystyrene things together. I can't really remember how many up they went. I'd have to look at that. And then those kind of then went on the risers that I then spray painted black, so that's why that kind of looks cool. Because I just felt like the figures, well, you guys can see it there actually, the Power Rangers, you can't really see them too well behind the other figures because they're too small for the risers. The same right at the, well, actually I say that, I have got some of the things in there already, as you guys can see. I just haven't kind of painted them, spray painted them black, but right at the back there you can't see those at all. I just feel these risers are too small for Funko Pops, so yeah, that's where I kind of made those stands. We had some more kind of TV Blu-rays. I think I'm going to leave this shelf alone, to be perfectly honest. The Westworld figures there as well, not quite all of them. I mean, I'm kind of being majorly disrespectful to one of the best TV shows of all time, Breaking Bad, up here. As you guys can see, a couple of really old Marvel Diamond Select figures from, I think they were both from the Avengers. Maybe the Hulk was Age of Ultron. And then I forget his name now, Megazord, is it, from Power Rangers as well. So I think I'm going to leave this shelf alone as it is. And then the kind of plan, like I said, I'm not really going to be taking everything, like every book off. A lot of these I have read, but there's a lot I still haven't read. I think the idea is to try and get most of these shelves filled with pops. Like I said, I'll leave this one alone. That one, I think I'm going to toss all of the kind of out-of-box pops onto that shelf, so they're kind of out of the way, and I'll sort out like a display kind of later. That middle shelf I think I will be leaving alone, and then I think this kind of really messy shelf over here, that's gonna really what's gonna turn into the bookshelf. The DC stuff I'll leave as it is all down there. Like I said, I really do hope that finishes soon. I think it is going to be finishing soon, but yeah, that shelf will kind of really turn into the bookshelf. You guys don't really see that too much, and then like I said, the majority of these will then really kind of be Funko Pops. So yeah guys, I feel like I've talked quite a lot, and I mean, I guess I'm going to be talking quite a lot throughout this video, but I need to kind of really make a plan, decide what's going to go where, and yeah, I guess I'll join you guys once I've kind of figured that out. And so all the Blu-rays are now packed up. I don't really think it was worth going through any of them. It would have just made this video incredibly long. There is a small stack that I do kind of need to figure out what to do with it. I also came across a bunch of stuff that was still sealed, like this Oblivion Steelbook, which is pretty insane. I think I did show this off earlier as well, the Big Lebowski bowling ball. If I ever did get the Big Lebowski set, I would definitely display it with that. And I did also pack up some of the books and more of the Blu-rays in this box as well. These aren't going in there. I just thought I'd pull them out and show them off. I don't really know where else to put them yet, but I did think these were pretty cool. Rick and Daryl here. Well, that's Rick, that's Daryl from The Walking Dead. I can't really even remember what they were in terms of like the brand or whatever, but where we are now, so we've got a clear kind of shelf there, semi-clear shelf. There were some minifigures, Lego minifigures hiding behind there. I still need to figure out what to do with my filmmaking books there. I have put all the 10 inches up top there, well, say all of the 10 inches, the Star Wars 10 inches, and then I've kind of put all the loose figures. Well, not all of them, as you can see. We've still got the Umbrella Academy ones. I keep wanting to say My Hero Academia, and the Batman ones. I still kind of really need to figure things out, but yeah, I've put all of the rest of those kind of in there, as you guys can see. And yeah, there she is. I did say I had Gemma, what was it, Gemma Morrow, right? Because she ended up marrying Clay as well, that I do have for the set. Like I said, she's giving her best impression there of Michael Jackson. Shimon! And those two boxes are now in the loft. That's why I'm actually perspiring a little bit. They joined the other like 1,000+ DVDs that we actually have up there in the loft. Let me know in the comments section below. Do you guys still keep your old DVD collections? We have. I don't know why. They're really just kind of gathering dust, and we now watch everything digital these days. But there are two things that I've now kind of realised. Firstly, we don't have as much space in the loft as I thought. It's still some decent space, but not as much. And number two is, I kind of started this at a really bad time. I mean, I'm kind of now stealing Top Pop's gimmick of the invisible watch. But yeah, guys, it's fairly late in the day. I had to do this while the professor was out on an office day. And yeah, it's now, I think, approaching like around 5 p.m. here. And he will be back fairly soon. So I've really only got an hour left. And although that would be okay in terms of filming, in terms of sorting things out, not so much. So yeah, maybe we will have this go into a second day. Alright, so I've got part of a plan, as Star-Lord would say. What I've done is clear this shelf here to the left of me. This is the shelf that had all the Mandalorian pops and the other bits that you saw earlier in the video. And the idea is to pull off all the books that I want to keep down here onto these shelves, and the rest will go up into the loft in boxes. I've already pulled all my Batman books across because I want to keep all the Batman books down here, even though I have read some of these quite a few times. The Long Halloween is one of them. I thought I'd show off a few of these. There it goes. It's not quite full, so that's why it's not quite stacking properly. But quite a few of these I've actually got signed. I don't know if you guys can see that there. I hope you can. Tim Sell signed that. He is a little bit of a miserable dude, though, if I'm being honest. Not sure if anyone's ever met him. I mean, this was the controversial one, Batman Damned, by Brian Azzarello and Lee Bermejo, where it had like the Batwang. This version doesn't. Yeah, what was it, like the American #1, right? That was the only version. I don't think it even released in the UK, where you had, or at least Europe, where you had the Batwang straight away. They took it out, even though it's DC Black Label, which is adult material. I did actually meet Brian Azzarello and got him to sign it for me. He's actually signed a bunch of things because he's done quite a lot of Batman stuff. And, you know, that was the last comic convention I went to, November 2019. Pretty crazy. A lot of the Scott Snyder stuff here, where, you know, his books and his stories were a big influence on the latest Batman movie. I actually got Scott Snyder to sign. Yeah, he always puts a date on his, so that was back in 2014, the famous kind of Court of Owls story. Some of the Dark Knight's Metal stuff that I've talked about in the past, and I think I mentioned it in the well, I was about to say the previous video. No, it's quite a few videos ago that I did get the sequel series for Christmas as well. Black Mirror is another really, really cool Batman story. I did get that signed by both Jock and Scott Snyder. I actually don't really like it when they sign the like trade paperbacks on the front. Jock had already kind of done it, so that's why Scott did it as well. Let me know in your comment section below, if you collect like comic books or graphic novels, do you mind when the artists and authors actually sign on the cover of the trade graphic novel, whatever you want to call it. Also, some New Gotham signed by Greg Rucka, who is a very, very cool dude. I think he literally signed like 20 or 30 of my graphic novels, including, was he a part of that one? I don't think he was this one. Well, these are the No Man Land stories as well, which kind of played a big influence on the latest Batman movie as well. And so did, I actually forgot, where was it? Hush. I don't have this signed. This was Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee, two legendary players in the game. Actually, you know, this book is actually kind of coming apart a bit, but Hush, I reckon, will play a big part in the kind of future of the new Batman movie, you know, Matt Reeves' universe. Can't really wait for that, to be honest. And I actually forgot about this story as well, Batman the Man Who Laughs. It's a really, really cool Joker story. I did end up getting it signed, well, I don't know, yeah, there it is, by Ed Brubaker as well, another one of my favourite writers. Very, very cool dude. And yeah, I just kind of realised I'm showing off a bunch of signed graphic novels at this point, which you know, it's not really the purpose of this video. So we'll now move on, and I will be putting the Batman pops back in front of the Batman graphic novels as well. There's one from the DC Metal universe. And I know I said I'd stop showing off some Batman graphic novels because it's not the purpose of this video, but I did find a few more above on the shelf there that I wanted to show off because they were influences to the film. This one here is Batman Earth 1, and as you guys can see, well, if you can see there, this was like a big influence on the kind of look of Alfred and, you know, how he acts, the kind of portrayal. And then there was, where did I put it? Of course, the very, very famous Batman Year One by Frank Miller that also had a big influence on Batman Begins as well. And now I've run into a bit of an issue, guys, because this shelf that is sitting back here that I've never put on the bookcase, I honestly don't know why. I guess I just started stacking up those Mandalorian pops. It's supposed to go there, and then the shelf here that you can't see in the shot is actually fixed. But the issue being is I've kind of lost the whatever these things are called that then stick in here and hold the shelf up. So I've really not got any way to now put that shelf up unless I take it from another one above, which I might do to like kind of carry on. But yeah, this is going to be a bit of an issue because I really don't know where I've put those bag of pin screws, whatever they're called. So yeah, I'm a little bit stumped right now. All right, so all of the shelves are now in on this bookcase, apart from that last one, of course, where I can't really find the pins or screws. That is still just sitting down there by the side. I just kind of realized this is almost like a bit of a DC shelf when the shelf opposite is Marvel, but it's actually not, because those are Image books there, and then I think there's going to be Dark Horse up there as well to kind of finish it off. But yeah, as I said, it's kind of mainly DC when you think about it. The Batman stuff I already showed off there. And then a lot of DC stuff here, you know, Flash, Suicide Squad, Swamp Thing, Justice League, Hitman, a lot of things in there. I mean, Deus Ex Machina, well, it's actually not Deus Ex Machina, that's the game, right? Ex Machina, I mean, this is actually quite hard to do with one hand. I did get all of these signed by Brian K. Vaughan, another one of my favourite writers. I'll have to put that back after because, like I said, it is pretty difficult to do one-handed. I've kept DMZ here as well. I think it's going to be a show. Is it out already? I'm not entirely sure. But I definitely heard it was going to be made into a TV show, and I actually never finished reading it. I think I got up to maybe the 8th trade or something and then stopped. Similarly with American Vampire, a book I really enjoyed and think they could make this into a series as well. I did get this signed by both Scott Schneider and then the artist Raphael Albuquerque as well. What else is good on this shelf? The Losers, I've actually never read any of it. I have collected it all, got it signed by both Andy Diggle and yeah, Jock's signature there. Heads Up David. Who calls me David these days? Pretty much everyone calls me Dave. And then above that is another DC based shelf. This is all those Eagle Moss subscription based special edition books they do. Some pretty cool stories in here. You've kind of got like Final Crisis, Infinite Crisis, Brightest Days Part 1 and 2. I mean, the light's probably shining there, so you guys can't really see that. Some Wonder Woman, some Arrow here. The Arrow's pretty cool, especially I did get that signed by Jeff Lemire. It's kind of a big series and a pretty cool signature with the Arrow there. And I mentioned him earlier, Greg Rucka as well, was a super cool dude. This was part of the Rebirth series. Dave, Fight for the Truth, signed by Greg Rucka. That is pretty cool. And then above that, this is all Image. We've got the Wicked and Divine, those are both signed. Lazarus also signed by Greg Rucka. I actually did go out and buy the big Saga Compendium, I think it's called, which has all 50 issues. Brian K. Vaughan's only recently come back to start doing that, and then a bunch of other stuff, a lot of the Ed Brubaker stuff, a lot of that signed. The Walking Dead, I decided to keep it all out, even though I have read it all. I actually really want to go back and read it again, and we have got a couple of cool things in here in The Walking Dead. This one was the second one when Charlie or second trade I should say, so from issue 7 when Charlie Adlard took over, and I did actually get a commissioned sketch there of me as a zombie. It was quite a few years, in fact I think it was about 10 years ago. I have hair there as you can see, but the cheeky bugger actually gave me a bit of a ball patch. I don't have a ball patch there, I more kind of, well, actually, you know what? He's kind of right. Bastard. And the other funny one, I think it was issue 5, if I'm not mistaken. This one wasn't a commissioned sketch, but he did it really quickly for me, and it was actually one of the Professor. It really doesn't look nothing like him. It actually looks like this really drab guy that I used to work with, but he actually did sign it to Paul as well. I thought that was pretty cool. and yeah, just some really other sort of Image things. And then we move over to some of the Garth Ennis things, Hellblazers, The Boys, which I can't wait for season 3. I forget the date off the top of my head, but sometime in June. I did recently get the Dear Becky story there as well. And then some other Garth Ennis things that I do still need to read. And then, like I said, up there will be kind of the rest of Image, rest of Garth Ennis, rest of Dark Horse, a real kind of mishmash of things. And then the rest will kind of be going into boxes. I say kind of will be going into boxes in the loft. I mean, this is kind of what the shelves look like now, where there's kind of holes and things, some empty shelves, 300 looking very lonely there. Still need to sort out the Umbrella Academy down there. And then yeah, the rest of the shelves, as you can see there, some books here and there, and looking pretty empty. So I think I've kind of worked out that this could maybe feel like around 280 pops, but I need to kind of play around with the shelves, you know, especially because that one in the middle right there is fixed, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, guys, I need to kind of wrap things up for today and return tomorrow to kind of carry this on. It won't be anything different for you guys because I'm not really splitting this video into 2. So yeah, I guess through the magic of editing, let me transition to day 2. Alright guys, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. Apologies if you can hear a constant humming. For whatever reason, the council have decided to mow all of the grass, all of the greens outside today. Pretty annoying, but it is what it is. The show must go on, as they say. And as you guys can see, I have now finished this shelf here over on the side with all the books now transferred. And as I said, I've gone with a, well, I was about to say a Dark Horse shelf, but it's actually quite a mix. A lot of Dark Horse stuff, a lot of Hellboy, as you can see there. That's why I've gone with the old Hellboy pop right there. And then there's a general mix of stuff. Again, some more Dark Horse stuff, Umbrella Academy up there. Top 10 by Alan Moore, that's one of my favourite books. Decided I had to keep that in there. All of the boys, a lot of the Garth Ennis stuff, Battlefields, etc, etc. And then kind of really a mishmash of some other things, Valiant as well. The kind of bigger books, the 300 book, and that's Private Eye by Brian K. Vaughan as well. I've kept them up there because I did want to keep them out rather than box them away. That's why King Leonidas is also now there, but they're always very awkward, you know, to kind of store or to display. As for the rest of the books, graphic novels, trades, whatever you want to call them, I managed to fit the majority of them into 2 boxes. I just reused some double box toys boxes here, as you guys can see, and I thought I would just show off another couple of cool things. I know I said I would stop showing off my graphic novel collection, but hey, I have maintained that this channel is more than just Funko Pop. So I have the boys. I actually think all of my boys, apart from that new Dear Becky one, is signed. All of the Hellboys, again, I think apart from one, I did manage to get signed by Mike Mignola, which is pretty cool. And then I thought I'd show this off. This is Stairway by, I think it's Top Cow. Is it Top Cow via Image? I think they have that partnership or whatever it is, signed by Matt Hawkins. This though is actually the Kickstarter exclusive edition. I did just bookmark the page here if I can get that opened up, because I thought it was pretty cool to see your name, and there I am right there. Pretty cool. And now there are some really cool books in these boxes. It was actually quite difficult for me to decide what to put in there. Again, I've got a lot of things signed. I kind of think it's strange that I have no signed Funko Pops, but I've got a ton of graphic novels and comic books signed. Like I said, was quite difficult to decide what to go in there, but we are having these major space issues here on the Geek Lounge. We are in the midst, I guess, the early stages of relocating the Geek Lounge, but that is a 12 to 18 month project. So yeah, we still kind of need this solution now to, you know, get things displayed and still be able to deliver content while getting in new stuff as well. And yes, you did hear me correctly earlier when I said I managed to fit the majority of books into those 2 boxes, because these 4 sets right here I did not manage to fit in. They're actually 4 of my favorite series of all time: Scout, Why the Last Man, 100 Bullets, and Preacher. 100 Bullets and Preacher, along with Sin City, which are actually all in the boxes, were the 3 comic books that really got me started in comics. They were the things I first purchased. I didn't have that traditional route as a kid with the likes of Marvel and DC. I did have a few comics, you know, back in the day. I think the Professor had more than me, and I saw some characters. I kind of fell in love with the Punisher as a kid. I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing. Certainly Spider-Man and Batman, they're two of my favorite characters as well. But yeah, I tend to prefer the creator-owned work, to be perfectly honest, and then I kind of gravitate towards Marvel and DC depending on the writer or artist. So I need to find a home for these 4 series. I doubt they'll go in the loft. I'm pretty sure I can find a place for them in my room. I have the majority of them signed as well, which is very, very cool. Very happy, like I said, to have them in the collection, but we do now need to make space for them for the Funko Pops. It's not getting rid of them, it's just a simple relocation, if I can put it that way. And so that now leads us onto the rest of the shelf and how everything is going to be displayed. Let me give you guys a quick look on what I've put together right now. It maybe looks a little bit weird and doesn't make a lot of sense, but let me explain. And so I have been racking my brains on how I should go about this. I measured everything out and it turns out I could fit 6 pops in a row across the shelf. A little bit annoying that it does leave a gap though either side. I don't know whether I can fill that maybe with a book, a graphic novel or something like that. But yeah, it's not quite tight, which is a bit annoying, but it's not the end of the world. I can then fit 3 deep, but there is a little bit of an overhang. You guys can kind of see that right there. So that's also a little bit annoying, but again, it is not the end of the world. So the plan was to have a row of 6 going 3 deep, which then would have given me 18. And then I would have stacked them 2 high. So it would have given me a total of 36 pops in one section. But then I ran into a slight issue because of this fixed shelf right here in the middle that you cannot move, hence the term fixed. So I was like, what should I do? So the plan that I came up with was to actually stack 3 high, so it will go 6 across. So we basically have 18 times 3, allowing us to fit 54 Funko Pops in that section, 54 in that section, 54 there, and another 54 there, giving us a grand total of 216 boxed Funko Pops that we can display here on these shelves. But that meant we actually have to have 4 smaller shelves here, 2 as you guys can see there below the fixed shelf and another 2 below the very top shelves. I mean, I probably could have done something with the top shelves, but it would have meant changing the Spielberg display there at the top, and I didn't really want to mess around with that too much. So I was then thinking, what could we put in there? As you guys can see, I went with the first wave of Umbrella Academy figures that was originally with the rest of the Dark Horse comics. It was kind of beside it, but it was quite annoying. I say beside it, in front of it, but it was quite annoying when you wanted to pull out a book, and I would like to kind of avoid putting figures in front of books going forward, or at least as much as I possibly can. So I actually put the Umbrella Academy figures in here, and generally when it's a common regular sized figure, they do fit. You can see Luther there is kind of struggling. He is kind of wedged right in there because he is slightly taller. And then we were thinking, what else could we put in there? We had ideas. Maybe we could put some minifigures in here from Lego. I mean, you're not going to see everything because it is going to be the things at the front. That's going to be the same with the boxed Funko Pops as well. And then the other idea I had was for the sodas. So I actually put a few of the sodas that I own already up here on this shelf to kind of show you guys. So they do fit quite nicely. Unfortunately, the can, not so much. You have to take the lid off to then fit the can in there as well. So I was kind of thinking, yeah, you know, you want to display sodas with the can as well, or at least that tends to be what most people do. So what I was thinking is, you know, I could put all of the soda cans away in a box and really just have the sodas here, because then I think you'd easily fit maybe 40 soda figures in there. Obviously, again, you would only see the ones at the front. But yeah, I haven't really quite decided that yet. We have that huge soda video that is now coming. It's probably going to be coming, maybe not necessarily next week. It's about a week and a half away. And I will have 50 unique Funko sodas to open up in that video. So yeah, I'm going to have a lot of figures to store somewhere. So that's another option. But yeah, let me know in the comment section below, guys. What do you think we should put in these smaller shelves that we've, you know, we've really kind of had to go ahead with to fit some of these Funko Pops in their boxes on the shelf as well. And I know I showed these off earlier in the video, the Godfather Funko Pops, but I did see earlier this week, I think it was Thursday, was the 50th anniversary of the release of the very first Godfather movie. Very, very cool. A legendary movie. Alright guys, it is now time to decide what we're going to pop onto each shelf. Pun intended. What we're going to put in terms of figures, series, you know, who's going to make the cut, who's not, who's going to go behind, who's going to go in front, so who is going to be on display in the videos in the future. Quite a lot to think about. I think what makes the most sense is to actually have completed sets here on the shelves, because then I don't really have to do too much maneuvering about when we get new things in. You know, I can kind of keep the display as it is. But then I was thinking, how many completed sets do I really truly own? I'm going to have to take a look. It's going to take me a while, so I guess, well, actually for you guys it's really going to be a few seconds. For me it's going to be a good half an hour or so to figure things out, so yeah, I'll see you in a sec. And so I decided to start off with this shelf here, and as you guys can see, I have gone with a Ghostbusters theme. I've put all the Ghostbusters Funko Pops I own onto the shelf. Well, I say all the ones I own, I do have the 2 Ecto ones, as well as the Pop Town as well, which comes with that Peter Venkman. I think he's like marshmallowed, right, in that one. But these are all the singular figures that I do own. Mr. Gruberson, Lucky, Podcast, Phoebe, and then on to some of the older, well, actually first onto an older one there, Slimer, then we have the glow-in-the-dark Muncher, then some of the older ones, again, not the OG ones, Dr. Raymond Stantz, Dr. Peter Venkman, Dr. Egan Spengler. I thought that was a good little kind of family thing to do there, even though you're not really going to see this, and then all of the different mini puffs, apart from one that I do not own. The one I do not own is the one... Is he on fire? I can't remember if that's what it's called. Yeah, Mini Puffed on Fire. I wanted to get the glow-in-the-dark version that comes with the Pop Tea. That was supposed to come to FunkoEurope.com. It still hasn't dropped. I think it was at Walmart or Target. I can't entirely remember in the US. Still hasn't dropped here in the UK. I hope it does drop soon so I can complete that collection. But yeah, then I do have that issue because this is kind of like a perfect number, right? Very symmetrical. And then there's going to be one mini puff to add to the collection, but I'll figure that out at that later date. And next up, guys, as you can see, we have a Pixar theme going on with Wall-E and Monsters Inc. To be perfectly honest, there actually aren't going to be any themes really with these shelves. It is just a practical way to store some of my Funko Pops. So going through what we have next up here, we have the regular Yeti, the scented Yeti, the regular Sully, the flocked Sully, Mike Wazowski, Celia, Boo. We have Boo in her costume. We have Sully with Boo, Eve, Mo Chase. We have the Earth Day Wall-E, the Earth Day Eve, Wall-E, that Funko Shop exclusive, and the Wall-E with the fire extinguisher. And what I've decided to do here is leave 2 gaps, one for that mini puffed on fire and one for that WonderCon Wall-E that's coming out where he has the compacted trash that I will be, you know what guys, I've just remembered I do actually have one more Wall-E. I actually don't know where he is. I put him in a box somewhere. Hold on a sec. There he is, the charging Wall-E. I only got that one recently, so it was in a different location to the rest of these. And like I said, I will get that WonderCon Wall-E as well to put right there. It does kind of now ruin my plan with the mini puffs, but that's a problem for another day. All right, so this shelf is now finished, and I was kind of thinking, what do I really want to put on here? So I decided to go with one of the crown jewels of my collection, the Pulp Fiction set that I have here. Butch Coolidge, Mia Wallace, Vincent Vega, Jules, and Jimmy. These are the bloody versions, the San Diego Comic-Con, I think it was 2014 if I'm not mistaken, limited to 1,000 pieces. Very, very happy I got these. I am a huge Pulp Fiction fan. It's one of my favourite films of all time. I can never pick a favourite, there's too many films to pick. And then as you guys can see, I've pretty much gone with, well, I say pretty much, I have gone with The Boys, another show I really love. I showed off the comic books earlier. It's just something I love. I feel they've done an amazing job with the show as well, and that's what I've gone with. I couldn't really think of the last figure to pick here, so I've got 12 all up there, and then I actually did manage to get the deep what was it? Was it Emerald City Comic Con? I think it was, right? This was when they were having the pandemic. It was 2021, so there wasn't actually a convention. No, there was a convention. What's this? This was Emerald City, but it says exclusive 2021 there. No, that was from 2020. Anyways, I managed to get the con sticker, and I also had one of the shared stickered exclusives as well. What does that actually sound? That also says 2021 Spring coming. Or was there 2 ECCCs last year? Maybe there was, I honestly can't really remember. I know one of the things a lot of people were unhappy about, especially during the pandemic, is when they had these stickers when you actually couldn't attend the convention. They were very kind of polarizing, quite controversial, people saying there shouldn't actually be stickers when there wasn't an actual convention. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about that. But yeah, there we have the con exclusive, the Deep. That's why I put him in there, because he was in a hard stack as well. Then the Shed stickered exclusive, the Black Noir that was the summer convention, I think that was the FunCon if I'm not mistaken, Queen Maeve, A-Train, Translucent, Starlight the regular. I never got the Chase. If I did, I probably would have put that Deep somewhere else and then had the Chase Starlight. Then going above we have the Amazon exclusive Starlight when she's in that bodysuit, Huey, Billy Butcher, the Walmart exclusive Bloody Billy Butcher. I kind of wish they did, you know, a kind of different mold there, but it is just the same with a little bit of blood spatter. Then the two versions of Homelander, that common one as well as the Red Eyes. Very, very cool set, like I said. I honestly wish they had done more figures. These took ages to come out. They were delayed, and then, you know, season 2 dropped, and were the figures out? I think they even came out after season 2, right? And I am surprised there hasn't been a second wave of figures just yet. I imagine they will be announced quite soon. The show's very popular. Season 3 comes, what is it, June, July? I can't necessarily remember the exact date, but yeah, very happy with this display of two things that I really, really love. And I actually forgot to mention, because this bottom row is all hard stacks, it creates a far less gap here than those that aren't in stacks or pop protectors, though it does actually mean the top pops are like right there at the top, not quite wedged in, but almost fairly tight. Yeah, I mean, to get like a 1,000 plus Funko Pop collection completely hard stacked, you are looking at about $6,000 plus without question, so I definitely won't be going that route, but I still think it looks pretty good. Let me know your thoughts below. Alright, so the first 18 pops on the next shelf are up. They are all Disney, as you guys can see. Again, no themes to this. It's really just a practical way to store and display some of my collection. This lets me know there are a bunch of Disney pops in behind here. And we'll start here then with Big Hero 6. We have Go-Go Tamago, Honey Lemon, Hero Hamada, Wasabi No Ginger, and Fred. I do actually have the 6-inch armored Baymax, as well as the Baymax with Mochi, but obviously they're bigger, so we're not including them. Then we have some of the Incredibles. We have Frozone, we have the metallic Jack Jack, or metal Jack, is it metallic? I don't think it is quite metallic paint finish, but metal Jack Jack, regular Jack Jack, Dash, Violet, Elastigirl, and Mr. Incredible. I think there are a bunch of other Jack Jacks, and there was like Jack Jack on Fire, Edna Jack Jack. Was there like Monster Jack Jack as well? I can't entirely remember. And then there were just a random assortment of some Disney pops. The Glitter Alien there, the Glow-in-the-Dark Genie with Lamp, the Chase Flocked Remy. I always thought that was weird. Maybe the Chase, you know, that pink flocked Chase sticker didn't exist at that point. And then I just shoved 3 of the Sword in the Stone pops there. Arthur, Merlin with Archimedes, and Madam Mim. I know there is that pig nose Madam Mim, which I think was WonderCon last year, and then she has like that 6-inch dragon form, which also has a chase. I don't actually have any of those, so yeah, that is the first lot. Next row, guys, we have a Marvel DC holiday mashup. I figured we may as well have these in behind because they will only come out during the holidays. Here for Marvel, we have the bunch of gingerbread pops: Thor, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, Spider-Man, Scarlet Witch, and the Funko Shop exclusive Thanos here. And then moving on to, I think it's the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos, I think it is, right? Apologies if that wasn't a good pronunciation. We have the Funko Shop exclusive Flash, the Funko Shop exclusive Reverse Flash. There is then this random Joker from Batman Arkham Asylum. There was like one space left, so I had to put something in there, and that is actually the only Arkham Asylum figure I think I have. Then back to the Day of the Dead figures, we have the Glow-in-the-Dark Joker, the Glow-in-the-Dark Bane, the Glow-in-the-Dark Batman, the Blue Beetle, the Green Lantern Jessica Cruz, and for whatever reason I never picked up the Harley Quinn figure, so I've left a space there for it. We'll pick it up very, very soon and plop it in there. So this shelf is now complete, apart from that empty double spot there, which I will explain in a minute. We have a TV theme going on here. Down here we have the second wave of Umbrella Academy figures. It goes with that first wave that I've got there. As you guys can see, we have Luther, Diego, Allison, Klaus, number 5, Ben. Up here we have the Glow-in-the-Dark Vanya, Baby Pogo, and then I have 2 figures from Mr. Robot. They are the only 2 figures I actually own from this collection, and I it kind of fit perfectly because I needed 2 more figures to fit in with both the Umbrella Academy and the next lot of figures. Here we have Elliot Alderson, the Chase Edition, and Darlene. And that next lot of figures is from The Witcher, the Hot Topic exclusive Jaskier with Flute. That is that blue coat edition, as well as the common red coat edition. Up we then have Yennefer. Next Battle Yennefer, the BAM exclusive Books A Million exclusive there, Ciri, and then the 2 Geralts, the Chase and the common edition there. So the reason for the 2 slots, you already know about the Dia de los Muertos, again I think that's right, Harley Quinn, but I also have that, I think people were calling it Casual Geralt. Was it Casual Geralt? Wasn't it just the outfit he was wearing when he essentially became the Butcher of Blaviken again? I can't really remember, but I've got that one on order. It was, I want to say, Emerald City Comic Con exclusive. Could have been New York. It was like a full convention exclusive anyway. I have that one on order. So that is why there are 2 gaps there for those 2 figures to fill that up. And another thing I didn't really say, I mean, I've mentioned the word practicality already, you know, in terms of, you know, displaying these and storing them, but the reason for all these, I actually have videos planned for Umbrella Academy, for The Witcher, for The Boys, all coming when the kind of new seasons and things drop. Well, Witcher, it's as soon as I get the Geralt with Roach figure and that casual Geralt figure come in, I'll be doing a full video on the wave. But yeah, once the new seasons of the Umbrella Academy and The Boys drop, which I think it's around June, July, if I'm not mistaken, for all both seasons, videos will be coming of those, so make sure you stay tuned. And now onto the lower shelf, guys, and I've been a little bit lazy, maybe even a little bit stupid, because I've decided to fill them up with Star Wars Funko Pops. I have a lot of the Mandalorian and Boba Fett line. Well, Boba Fett's only got a couple at this time, but no doubt more and more will come out. I haven't got many of the kind of original, the movie, I was about to say trilogy movie saga, etc., but I am going to be collecting more and more, so like I said, that's probably why it's a bit stupid to put these here, because more and more will just come out. But it is also lazy because I have a bunch of them. It fills up the shelf much quicker than trying to figure out what goes where. So what do we have here? We have the Luke Skywalker and Yoda. I always like that pop, 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. The Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine with the pin there. I think that was an Amazon exclusive, but that is the special edition sticker one. Darth Maul with the 2 lightsabers there, the Darksaber, and I think you can quite make that out. That was a special edition as well. I think exclusive to Smith's Toys over here. Then on some of the Mandalorian Pops, the Mithril Gamorrean Fighter, Q9, that's Q90 yet, the Frog Lady special edition, that was quite a recent edition. The regular Dark Trooper, the Client, Covert Mandalorian, the Mandalorian, what is that? That's No Stripes, right? Because there is that other one. I can't remember what it's called. The Heavy Infantry Mandalorian, Grief Karga, Cara Dune, I think that was like the 3rd one they did of her. 2 of the Ahsokas, including that exclusive again, I think that was Amazon, and maybe Smith's Toys over here in the UK, Moff Gideon, and the Chase of Bo-Katan Kryze. And then on to the second row, guys, and I've put the child, aka Grogu, aka Baby Yoda, whatever you want to call him, up vertically, because having him horizontally is a bit of a nightmare in terms of displaying. But we have the child with pendant there, which was, what was that, 2020 full convention exclusive. The child, I think that's the one in the bag, right? The Target exclusive with the squid, no, chowder squid, the child with a frog, and then that was that Macy's Day Parade one where he's chasing the control knob. Then we have Fennec Shan and Boba Fett from the Boba Fett series, the Book of Boba Fett series. Then we have a bunch of concept figures, the Snowtrooper, the Funko Shop exclusive Stormtrooper there, Han Solo, then the Galactic Convention exclusives, Boba Fett and Chewbacca. The reason I have 3 spaces there is I have another of these 3 convention figures coming. Apologies there, guys, my battery was literally dying. As I was saying, I have 3 spots spare there for 3 more concept figures, the regular Stormtrooper, that alternate Darth Vader, and what was the other one? Oh yeah, Star Killer as well. I've got those on order because we're going to plan a big concept video coming up sometime in May. We then have the Cobb Vanth Chase, as well as the 2021 full convention Boba Fett without the mask, and then the regular Boba Fett with the mask as well. And then on to the final row, guys. I've actually gone with Bad Batch here at the bottom because I have got a Bad Batch video planned. This is the Crosshair and Hunter on Camino that come with those pins. I think they were Amazon exclusives. If I'm not mistaken, they have that real tiny special edition sticker there. And then the rest of the Bad Batch crew, Wrecker, Echo, Tech, and Omega there. Then going up, we actually have this kind of funny theme here of all characters holding Grogu. So starting with the Dark Trooper with Grogu. That is the glow-in-the-dark one, but that is actually a pretty bad glow-in-the-dark, to be honest. It is only the red eyes, and they don't glow very well. IG-11 with the child. That was the GameStop exclusive that also came with the Pop T. Luke Skywalker with, it says with Grogu. Is some of them with the child? Yeah, I guess he wasn't known as Grogu at that point. The Mandalorian there with Grogu, the unmasked version. And then those two figures are, I was about to say exactly the same. That's not entirely true. It is the Mandalorian with the child. It's got, actually, you know what? That's interesting. One says with the child, one says with Grogu. They're both the same mold. It's just the Amazon exclusive one, as you can see, comes with a pin, but the figure is also chrome. And then if we head up, we've got the Mandalorian with Beskar staff there, the Funko Shop exclusive. Was that the OG Mandalorian? I mean, not the expensive one. That one's a little bit more expensive. That was the chrome one, but it's not the full chrome one. I think that is just the chrome helmet. You could then get the full chrome one as well, which I don't own. The Funko Insider Club glow in the dark. I'm trying to think what that was. I think it's just on his jetpack where that's glow in the dark. And then there is the Mandalorian with flamethrower as well, special edition. Not too sure who that was exclusive to. You'll note another empty spot there. That is because I have the Mandalorian with Darksaber on order to come quite soon, so that will go in there. Just like the Alien had all the way above there, Grief Karga's got a little bit of light as well for the time being, you know what I mean. And then on to the final shelf on the left, guys, and this may look like it defies all logic, some very, very random pieces in here, but there is some logic to it. They really contain sets that I'm either not prioritizing to complete right now or are going to be really, really expensive to complete. So what do we have here on this first stack? We have some Junji Ito figures, Miss Fuchi, Yuko, Junji Ito Suchi, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That is actually the Comic-Con exclusive sticker from 2022 as well. And then Hideo special edition exclusive, not sure who is exclusive to. Like I said, very, very random. Two tennis icons here, Rafael Nadal and Bjorn Borg. Nadal recently became the most successful tennis player of all time. Up here we then have two of the Mummy figures, Imhotep and Evie, or Evelyn Carnahan, her full name. I don't have the Rick O'Connell figure. Like I said, I'm not really prioritizing it right now, but I will get it eventually. On to some childhood love. Here we have Thundercats. We have the specialty series Tigra, Chitara, Panthro and Mumra. I do own Lion-O, but it is outside of box. I bought a big out of box set. Well, probably not the right word. Like, basically a guy sold a whole bunch of out of box pops and I actually got him in there. So the only one I really am missing is Snarth, but that is incredibly expensive, as is this set as well to complete. The Fifth Element, one of my favourite films from the 90s, still a classic in my opinion. Corbin Dallas, Lilu, John Baptiste, Emmanuel Zorg and Mangalore there as well. And then next to those we have two of those DC Shop limited piece counts, 4,500 pieces of Desaad and Darkseid from, apologies there for the light, from Zack Snyder's Justice League. And then the next row is no less random. We have Fruits Basket here at the bottom, Toru Honda, the Hot Topic exclusive Kyo with Cat, the Speciality Series Yuki with Rat, and then the Funimation exclusive Shigure with Dog. I thought I did have the regular Kyo, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I know I did have the regular Yuki on order, but something went wrong with it and I ended up being charged for it and then it didn't get sent out. It was a big mess. I won't really say who it is because that's not fair. We had two Austin Powers figures that could fit on the end here, Dr. Evil and Austin Powers himself. I think you could get the red suit one and Vanessa as well if I'm not mistaken. Moving up, we have Chris Washington from Get Out. Love that movie. I think I will go for the Jordan Peele director's pop at some point as well. Tyler Durden from Fight Club. Absolutely love Fight Club. Gutted I never got the chase for that. You can probably pick it up still for about 50 or so quid. I will get it at some point. Paul Atreides, the Chase edition from Dune. I hope I pronounced that name right. I actually haven't seen the film yet. Really, really want to see it because, you know, everyone absolutely raved about it. I actually got that in a mystery box. And then three BoJack Horseman figures, Diane Nguyen, Mr. Peanut Butter, and Princess Caroline. I actually don't have Todd or BoJack himself. Very expensive, I think, now to get those and complete that set, but I will get them eventually. I absolutely loved BoJack. Then another bunch of random Disney figures, Wreck-It Ralph, which I really enjoyed. The Pop in a Box exclusive Pinocchio, which I thought was a really, really cool looking figure, as well as this Mowgli with Car, the very Nico exclusive. Is that how you pronounce that? And then I thought I would just shove the three One Piece figures I have here. I mean, shove, that's a little bit of a disrespectful word to such a legendary anime. But yeah, I haven't seen a single episode. I will get round to watching it eventually. I know it's a big slog. I've got 1,000 plus episodes to go. But we managed to get the Shanks Chase edition. I got really lucky with that. And then Monkey D. Luffy and Luffy Taro. I can't remember who that was exclusive to over here. But yeah, that completes that. I was about to say third stack, second stack, third stack to come now. And then for those final rows, stacks, whatever you want to call them, guys, again, a random assortment of figures. We have the Legend of Ron Burgundy figures at the bottom, the convention exclusives, summer convention exclusives from 2020. We have Brick Tamland, Ron Burgundy there with a flute, Ron Burgundy with a coffee mug, Ron Burgundy with Baxter, and the scented Brian Fantana. I think it does smell like, I think it's supposed to be like the Ghost Panther. Is it Ghost Panther? I think that's what it was, the perfume. It does smell a little bit. And then Chuck Noland with Wilson there on the end. Wilson, a classic character, as you can see there. The Wilson football. Was it football? I think it was a football, right? And then up above those, we have Sword Art Online. We have Leafa, Asuna. We have the Attack Asuna, I think it was like Attack Form or something like that. Same with Kirito, the FYE exclusive, the regular Kirito, and then that is actually the OG Kirito. I don't own the OG Asuna, that is quite expensive to get. And I think there was wasn't there like a Hot Topic exclusive Kirito where he had, oh mind you, that's got two swords there. I can't entirely remember. And then above that we have, well, let's actually start at this end. We have Wallace and Gromit, classic thing from my childhood that I wanted, well, yeah, I wanted for the collection. I wouldn't necessarily say it was something I wanted to be front and center on a display, but it fit with two more figures that I needed to put there because I did want to put up the animated Spider-Man figures, especially because I have that animated Spider-Man video coming quite soon, so it made sense to put those here. We have Spidey Special Edition, which was exclusive to Magic Madhouse over here in the UK. Doc Ock exclusive to Target. I got the Black Cat actually from Pop Culture in Australia, and then the glow-in-the-dark Hobgoblin I believe was exclusive to HMV. I actually got mine from EMB. It came with the Pop Tee as well. I actually just took it out of that box to display it there, but yeah, that is now the shelves complete. And there we go. I thought I'd give you guys a general idea of what you're going to see in future videos. It's not necessarily the final shot. I can move the camera, do different angles, etc, depending on the video we're going to be doing that day. Otherwise, I want to say a big thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me here on the Geek Lounge. I say a little bit of time. It was a bit longer than that. If you guys did stick with me all the way through this video, a big thank you. It is very much appreciated. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If so, be sure to give us a like. Drop some comments below. What pops did you guys enjoy most with what I displayed? Do you think I could do something better with the displays? What could I do with the smaller shelves? And did you guys also enjoy the graphic novel content as well? And I'm always going to say, guys, if you're not subscribed, please do hit, click, smash that subscribe button. If you are enjoying the content, enable those notifications so you don't miss out on any future content, including the opening of those 50 unique Funko Sodas coming very soon. Guys, thanks again for watching, and we will see you on the next one. Peace out, nerds!